Come on. I ain't trying to download. Yeah. Oh, my computer be messing up. This internet here is killing me. It didn't do it at all when I was on the road. Now I got to restart my computer. What are you doing? No, it was burning up when I got in here. So I'm on the air, so make sure it's cold in here. What'd you do? You did something.
It's working. You're live.
You did that. You did something. Don't have me sweating. Put it back.
She put heat.
She's about to get frozen out.
You're live.
Yeah, but that's what happens when a white person marries a black person and they have different temperatures. That is the vein of our relationship. As you know, I'm white. Like white people, we like our house is cold. Like really cold. What is up with the internet? Okay. Let me see. Okay. Gary Owen. Come on. Why is it so slow?
Say hi to the people. They're there.
Hey, I'll be here in a minute whenever I can log on. I got to figure out how to fix my dang internet in my house, man. Come on. Come on. Dang. There we go. I think this is it. Right. And it's like I'm on AOL dial up. What is going on? Let me unplug my phone. Okay, let's see if that helped. You got to be kidding me. Okay, that did help. There we go. There we go. Come on, give me some action. Okay. All right. Well, now I'm just getting a spinning wheel. There we go. Boom. All right. Now we're live after, was it 10 minutes? Trying to get it. All right. Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Gary Owen with the Get Some podcast. As always, you can listen to this on iTunes. Just search Gary Owen #Get Some or YouTube, which you should be doing. YouTube.com/Gary Owen.com. We had a little issue with the internet. My apologies. And my wife comes in. I got home about an hour ago, and I walked in. The house was hot. It was warm. There was nothing on. There wasn't the air conditioning or heater on. So I turned on the AC. So my wife walked in. She's hot. I already got the no, she's cold. I'm sorry. She's cold. So she turned the heater on. So I just got up, put it back on air conditioning. That is the vein of our relationship, is the temperature in the house. Because I think most white people like it cold. Real cold. I mean, granted, our ancestors are from Europe. I mean, it's cold in Europe. And then my wife is, she likes it hot, like really hot. And her ancestors from Africa, hot continent. So that is an issue with us in our house. I like it cold. She likes it hot. Like literally, I think a compromise is I like the house at about 69 degrees, and don't take that any way you want to take it. My wife would like to have it at about 73 degrees. So we usually come to a medium and we'll go in about 70, right? So it leans my way. But uh the problem is when we lay down in the bed, like she'll have like 4 covers on. I'll have a sheet. That's it. Because I'll be sweating. Don't want my legs sweating, feet sweating. So I just wonder what's a normal temperature in the house. So ours usually stays between 69 and 73 somewhere. But I know when I walk in, I'm like, and that's what I when she turns the heater on, I'm like, once I'm hot, I can't. Once I start sweating, that's it. You're sweating. If you're cold, get under a blanket, get a cover. I've asked that numerous times. When you go to a football game and you have to sit outside, would you rather be in like Miami or Tampa in September where it's 90 and you're in the sun and you're baking? Or would you rather be like in Green Bay in December when it's cold? I would much rather be cold because you can always warm yourself up. You can put blankets on, you can put thermals on and socks, than to just sit in the sun and bake at a football game. I'd rather be cold than hot myself. So with that, I mean, I'm looking at the comments. Everybody's all over the place. Some people think I'm right. Some people think she's right. But let me just go over my schedule real quick. I am in Addison, Texas this weekend, which is right outside of Dallas. That is going to be May 30th through June 2nd. Now, I will say I have 6 shows, 1 Thursday, 2 Friday, 2 Saturday, 1 Sunday. We're not adding shows. So once they're sold, they are sold. So try to get your tickets in advance. That's Addison, Texas. Then June 4th and 5th, I'm in Tulsa, Oklahoma at the Looney Bin. I have 4 shows in Tulsa. And the reason I got those 4 shows in Tulsa is those will be the shows that I'm really prepping and honing in for my hour special that I'm filming June 8th in San Antonio at the Empire Theater. So we're filming it for Showtime. So if you're in San Antonio, near San Antonio, dress your best. You're going to be on camera. It's going to be good. I'm excited about this hour. I'm really excited. So, and then after that, June 13th to the 16th, I'm in Washington, D.C. at the Improv. Those shows are already selling like crazy. We've already added 3 extra shows. So 4 shows are sold out. 6 are almost gone. So we've added 3. I end up doing probably 11 or 12 shows before it's all said and done that weekend, the 13th through the 16th. Want to give 2 quick shout outs before I get into everything else. One, today is my dad's birthday. Those of you know him from the podcast, Big Gary, it's his birthday. So I want to wish him a happy birthday. He's been having little respiratory breathing problems, and he doesn't know what it is. He said he just can't catch his breath lately. So he's gone to like every doctor under the moon. He's a bill of health. They said he's healthy. I think it's just anxiety. And I don't know. He's always was a high stress guy. But I think he's just anxiety, hopefully. And then so I gave him some medicine to calm him down. Because I just called him like an hour ago to wish him happy birthday. And he sounded like he was so high. I was like, hey, Dad, happy birthday. Hey, man. Thanks, Gary. I was like, what? They got you on? He goes, I don't know, man, but I am high as a kite right now. He sounded so relaxed. Because usually I call him, he's talking his ass off. And he's like, hey, man. Yeah, everything's good. So, yeah. And then, listen, so happy birthday to my dad. But big, good thoughts, prayers, everything goes out to Say. Say's my opener. Say Hamora M when I'm on the road. Now, his dad's 84. He's in the hospital. And, Say's been going through it last couple weeks on the road because his dad just been real sick and in the hospital. So, that's the side of stand-up you don't see because Say's going on the road. He's with me every weekend. But then as soon as he gets back, he lives in Long Beach. He's spending more time at the hospital than he is at his own house because his dad's been in the hospital for the last couple weeks. And he just posted a picture on his social media today, his Instagram and Facebook. of his dad. And I guess he's got a breathing tube down his nose, and he's just got so many wires coming through him, but his dad's giving like a thumbs up. So his dad's a little pimp though, from what Say said. Like he'd be flirting with the nurses and taking little extra, because nurses gotta clean him when he soils himself. So I think he'd be doing a little extra soil just to get those young tenderoni's hands around those 84-year-old balls and in the booty. I know I would be. Man, if I'm 80 and I'm in the hospital and I'm sick, oh, they're getting boop. I shit myself again. Come wipe me. Come wipe me, you little 24-year-old tenderoni. That's what keeps me out of being in that line of work my whole life. I could never work in a hospital or hospice or any of that because you got to wipe people's asses. Deal breaker. Or if you do shit yourself, I'm like, now I'm off in an hour. So you're going to have to sit in that shit until second shift comes in. I can't do it. I'd be dry heaving the whole time. Ugh. I remember when I had my first knee surgery. I had an ACL reconstructive surgery, and it was my second knee surgery, and I couldn't urinate after the surgery, so I wasn't allowed to eat anything until they knew my urinary tract and my boot and my shittle. Everything was working right, so they wouldn't let me eat anything. All I could do was drink water, but I wasn't able to piss. So they had to put a catheter in the tip of my dick and like basically, funnel or whatever you do. They stuck it in there so I could piss, right? Relieve myself. And then I could eat because I'm sitting there starving. It's been like 12 hours since I got out of surgery. I should be able to eat by now. And so a lady nurse comes in and she was like, "Hey, I'm here to put your, thing in your, basically the tube in your dick," but she can't say that, but I'm here to put the catheter in. And she goes, "Are you comfortable with me doing it? Or would you rather have a male nurse?" And I looked at her, I said, "Why would I want a male nurse?" Remember, she just started dying laughing because she was just sitting there, started cracking up. And then I had to put a disclaimer because I was like this. I go, "Hey, I don't know what's going on down there right now, but I'm sure it's usually a little bigger." Because I'm all half drugged up. I don't know what's going on. I can't feel nothing. And she put it, but I remember she was saying, "Are you comfortable with me doing it? Or would you rather have a male nurse?" I said, "Why the fuck would I want a male dude touching my thing?" And from what I remember, she wasn't that unattractive at all. That's like one line of work you don't want dudes in. Like everyone wants equal rights, but men should not be dental assistants at all. Nobody wants to see some big man hands all in your mouth. And just like a nurse on a floor like that, I just think you want somebody with soft hands, soft, nice demeanor, a woman. And I'm looking at the comments. Somebody said, "Was your wife there?" I had my knee surgeries way before I was with my wife. She was not even in the picture back then. So yeah, I don't feel bad telling that story. Now I was in Charlotte last weekend. So thank you to everyone that came out in Charlotte. We had a great weekend there at the Comedy Zone. So I went out to eat on Friday with Randy Moss. Some of you may know him. He used to play for the Minnesota Vikings and the Oakland Raiders and New England Patriots. So Randy picks me up. And man, now Randy's country, but I didn't realize how country he was. And my road manager, Brad, went with us. And Brad's country too. They got on about a 20-minute conversation about fishing. And I checked out. I'm not a big fishing dude. One, if I catch a fish, that's the only fish I'm gonna catch because I can't get the fish off the line. And then if you cut the line, then you got to tie another hook onto the line. I don't know how to do that either. So I was just like, man, they're talking about, Randy was like, I don't like deep sea fishing. I'm from West Virginia, man. I like the banks. I like to stick my pole in the ground and sit there. He goes, good thing about living in Charlotte is, there's a lot of bodies of water. There's water everywhere. There's all kinds of fish. You can go catfish and bass. And he was naming off all these fish. And then Brad, yeah, man, I love fishing, man. Randy goes, oh, yeah. And Brad goes, you got a boat? Oh, man, I got like a 27-foot something Bassmaster, 25-watt, double barrel, 16 propeller. It's like, what the fuck are we talking about right now? And But Randy said he don't like deep sea fishing because he's from West Virginia and he grew up fishing on rivers and lakes, and that's what he likes. And then he picked us up in his big ass pickup, and I didn't realize. So I'm sitting there talking to Randy. That's Southern Ohio, Eastern Indiana, Northern Kentucky, and West Virginia. We all got this same type of twang to our voice, and it comes out of mine every now and then. But Randy stays. It just stays. And then Brad pointed out to me, he goes, "You guys got the same twang at certain points. Randy's is a lot stronger, but when you guys get to talking, it comes out of you because you're conversating with them." And I said, I guess that's I don't know, it's a Midwest, northern, north south type of twang that I didn't realize until I started talking to Randy. I said, "Oh yeah," and Randy was funny because he goes, we go to eat this sushi spot, and then he goes, "Hey, man, you want to get a bowl? You want to get a bowl?" And I was like, so I thought he meant weed. No, Randy has invested his money in these mobile acai food trucks called Spoons. And it's nothing but a little van that they've gutted out and turned it into a mobile, like acai bowl place. You can get a smoothie and water and stuff there too. But so he takes me over. I'm like, oh, I thought I was going to smoke some weed with Randy Moss. But no, it was go get an acai bowl with Randy. And then so he takes over. And let me tell you, if you in Charlotte, look up this place called Spoons. And I put it on my Instagram. And I'm not saying it just because it's Randy's. That was the best acai bowl I ever had. I went back every day. I went Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I got a different bowl every time, tried most of them. They were just, they were so good. So, and then they said they do something smart. So they have their locations where they put their two mobile spoon vans, right? Then they said outside of one of the hospitals there on the overnight shift, they park a van outside the hospital. So you got the third shift workers from the hospital, people visiting their loved ones that are sick, and it gives them a place that's healthy that they can eat, and they're not regulated to the hospital food or running out trying to find fast food. They can just walk right outside the hospital and get a nice, healthy late night meal. And I go, man, that's smart. That's smart. And then I found out too, I went Friday or Saturday. I started talking to a lady that was making my acai bowl. She says, Randy and somebody else on Tuesdays and Thursdays in Charlotte in the morning, they run this boot camp, and it's free. Anybody can come in the public, and it's just I think it's at a football stadium or a field, and anybody from Charlotte, they can probably tell you. But it's free to the public. Anybody can show up. It's like 8 a.m. on Tuesdays and Thursdays. They run a free boot camp for the city of Charlotte, and they just work people out for an hour. And I'm like, dang, from what you've always heard about Randy, and then me getting to know him pretty good over the last couple of years, I mean, country as hell. Not going to take that away from him. But he just makes everything like so simple when you talk to him. I'll never forget, as long as I live, watching his 30 for 30 and how he got in that fight at school in high school, which happens. People getting fights in high school, young, knuckleheads, stupid. You know, nobody should be getting in fights, period. And when Randy got his scholarship revoked from Notre Dame because of that fight, then he goes to Florida State. And it's well documented from Bobby Bowden. Anybody who was at Florida State at that time. Randy wasn't allowed to play the first year, but he was given it to the first team defense. The first team defense of Florida State could not cover Randy Moss. Can you imagine? You got a guy that isn't playing yet, that you know is coming to the program, and he's the best player on the field. And then he went home and he basically smoked a joint with some of his friends back in Rand, West Virginia. And when he came back and he popped positive on a drug test, he got his probation revoked and he got sent back to jail for a couple more months. So, and then he lost his scholarship to Florida State. And I remember back when I heard about Randy and everything he was going through, I'm buying into what the media is telling me, saying, he's a thug. You got to watch out for him. He's not going to make it in the league. He'd be lucky. He'd be lucky to make it through college, let alone the league for a couple years. And then when Randy on his 30 for 30 said he got sent back to prison and lost his scholarship to Florida State, he goes, for smoking a joint? That's all he did. Went home, hung out with his boys, and smoked a joint. And then just put everything in perspective. Go, yeah, that's just, it wasn't a big deal. Really, it really wasn't. But yeah, it was just cool to see what he's doing now. And I guess he's got one son at LSU, he said, playing ball. He's got another son that's going to be a senior in high school that's playing football. So yeah, it was cool. And then it was crazy. So I run into Randy Moss. I'm not running into I have lunch with Randy Moss, and then I check into my hotel in Charlotte, and who's just hanging out in the lobby? Allen Iverson. I had never met Allen before, and he comes over, and we start BSing. I'm just thinking, why are all these like retired Hall of Famers in different sports moving to Charlotte? Because Randy didn't play in Charlotte, had no affiliation with Charlotte. Allen didn't play in Charlotte, had no affiliation with Charlotte. So I'd be asking him. Randy just said he likes it there. It's a city that's growing. They still has a small town feel, even though it's quickly becoming a big city. And then Allen said, he's from Virginia, and his family's getting older, wife's family, his family, and he's close enough that he can get back to Virginia on a day's notice, but far enough away that it's still home for, still he can be not too, he said he didn't want to be too close to Virginia. He couldn't live where he grew up, but he wanted to be close to it. So yeah, that was cool to see. So with that all being said, the big thing that happened when I was in Charlotte outside of my shows was there was a big fight on social media between this rapper called DaBaby and this other rapper called Cam Coldheart. Now, Cam Coldheart is a rapper probably nobody's heard of. This was his claim to fame, getting his ass beat by DaBaby. He's on his Instagram or something. He's kind of getting on DaBaby. Look at DaBaby. DaBaby ain't about shit. Look at DaBaby, bitch ass DaBaby. And they're both in the Louis Vuitton store in one of the high-end malls in Charlotte. Probably the only Louis Vuitton store in Charlotte, I'm guessing. And that's the video you see is Cam Court's got his thing up. He's trolling DaBaby. Bitch ass DaBaby. Why are you taking your shit off? You ain't about to do shit, DaBaby. And then you see DaBaby. It's like, man, just go buy your shit, man. Just get away from me. And Cam's like, what you gonna do? You're so scared. You're so scared. Now, the problem is Cam Coldheart's got his phone in one hand. He's trying to record everything. And then he also is, later on you find out he was at Louis Vuitton to buy a belt. So his pants are kind of sagging. So he's trying to hold up his shorts, and he's got a phone out. And he's trolling DaBaby, trying to get him to fight him. I'm like, dude, you got to already have the belt on, and you can't have your phone out. You got to have both hands free if you're getting ready to fight somebody. So then the next video, and DaBaby posted it on his Instagram, is DaBaby yelling, Cam Coldheart, Cam Coldheart. And Cam Coldheart, blood on his nose, bloody nose. And then his pants are down around his ankles. He's got you just see his drawers. And then he clearly doesn't know where he's at. So he got knocked out. And then, what ended up happening, we found out through the Louis Vuitton store and Cam Coldheart telling everybody what happened, is I guess he got jumped by two guys that was with DaBaby, as he should. I mean, DaBaby's the artist. He ain't trying to get no fight. And you think security, if you got an artist and they have security, they're just going to stand around and let their client or their boss get their ass beat? No, because if DaBaby can't work, then the bodyguards ain't working. So the bodyguards will make sure we gonna be working. So he got knocked out, and then, but it was hysterical. Normally when people get knocked out, they just take the L and they become better for it, or they're in denial. Because I remember when the rapper Stitches kept trolling the game, and he ran up on the game down in Miami, and the game's manager, Whack 100, knocked out Stitches. Now, that sobered Stitches up because Stitches stopped talking shit and was like, yo, I got to make some changes because I could have got hurt worse. And then Stitch was like, he was on so much drugs at the time. He was talking shit out of his mind because he didn't know what was going on. And if you look at Stitches now, he's still wild, but he's a lot more positive than he was before that incident with the game and Whack 100, the game's manager. But so this guy, Cam Coldheart, he gets knocked out, and it's probably by the baby security. He's on there talking like, I'm fine. I got jumped. The baby didn't knock me out. His security knocked me out. And then he started going, they scratches. Look, I'm still pretty. He's like, they just scratches on my face. And like, he still has not taken it out. And then he's still at the Louis Vuitton store after he got knocked out. He calls the security over and he goes, hey, man, now this security at Louis Vuitton, you ain't got no affiliation with nobody. How many people jumped me? And the security guard didn't even talk. He just holds up 2 fingers. 2. He goes, yeah, see, 2 people jumped me. I'm like, I don't care if it's 1 person or 2 people or 3 people. The visual is you on the ground with a bloody nose with your pants around your ankles. And then he's going, now he's telling Louis Vuitton, hey, go, I'm still buying my belt. Go ahead and wrap my belt up. Wrap my belt up. I'm like, oh my fucking God. This is a train wreck. And then he's almost, honestly, it's almost like he's excited that he got knocked out and is getting in all the social media and blog pages because his Instagram followers went up. And he's so excited about that. And I'm like, dude, it doesn't matter why they went up. Right now, your claim to fame is you got knocked out. That's what they don't know you for your music or anything else. And then here I am. I can't get enough of this shit. So I'm looking it up. As long as there's a fight and I'm not involved, I'm looking at every angle. So I'm on the baby's page, and then I'll go to Cam Coldheart's page. I'm just having fun with this, watching it go back and forth. And Cam, I actually like some of his songs. When I was listening to him on Instagram, I go, oh, he actually sounds good, like a good rapper. I was like, so this is what I don't get. When I actually listened to Cam Coldheart's music, that the little snippets I heard on his Instagram page, it sounded good. Like the guy can rap, and I'm no hip hop head by any means, but the guy sounded good. And I like the baby. He's got a great voice too. When I listen to his songs, like, oh, okay, I can see it. They're from the same city, Charlotte. And I'm thinking, if you're from the same city, I always think you want guys to flourish because then they're looking for other talent from that city. No different than Atlanta came on the scene 25 years ago when Jermaine Dupri started So Def. All of a sudden, it was like every month somebody from Atlanta was coming out. And now look where Atlanta's at now. I mean, you got LA and New York. That's granite. But when you got certain cities, like look at where I was at a couple weeks ago, Virginia Beach, that area, that's got Missy Elliott and Pharrell and Teddy Riley and Guy. And I'm sure I'm forgetting other people. But I mean, Pharrell just did the Something in the Water show about 2 months ago. And I was just like, he had all those people from that area came and performed. And it was just like, everybody came together because they were all from that area and they all wanted to perform. And it's like, that was great. He did something like that. So I'm thinking, you got the baby who's from Charlotte, rep Charlotte every chance he gets. And I'm thinking, why wouldn't you come together with that? It reminded me of not reminded me, but it made me think of probably 15 years ago. Yeah, about 15 years ago, I was trying to put a run together with me, Cat Williams, and Dave Chappelle because we're all from Southern Ohio. And I wanted to call it the New Ohio Players. And I'm not lying. In the midst of my agent trying to get a hold of Dave and getting a hold of Cat and putting it together, all of a sudden Dave and Cat just went ping. Like the next year, the Chappelle show came out. This is before the Chappelle show. Chappelle show came out, and then Cat was starting to bubble, and he took off. At that time, I was just trying to do a run through Ohio. Let's do Cincinnati, Columbus, Cleveland, Toledo, maybe like Akron, somewhere around there. And I just want to do like 5-6 cities, small theaters, and that was it. Now, a lot of people are saying I thought Chappelle was from Maryland. Chappelle is from Yellow Springs, Ohio, but he started doing stand-up in DC in Maryland, but he's from Ohio. He still lives in Ohio. Yeah, but I think he moved to DC. I don't know how old, but I know he spent a lot of his childhood in Ohio also. Yeah, I was trying to call it the new Ohio players. And right as people were making phone calls and seeing if we could work it out numbers wise and everything, both of them and this was before the Chappelle show. So I was literally like, let's get this guy Dave Chappelle. And there's like, you sure? I was like, yeah, let's get Chappelle. And so, but it was one of them things where it was like, we was all from the same area. So I was like, let's all come together and try to do something. Obviously, that's never going to happen. Chappelle and Cat, I'm like trying to catch you like, what's up, fellas? But yeah, with this Cam Coldheart, and then I was listening to the Charlemagne on the Breakfast Club, and he gave him Donkey of the Day, and he just said, I didn't go that far into Cam Coldheart's past, but I guess he's been trolling the baby for a while, like years, and so it comes across when you do stuff like that as jealous and envious, and I just be thinking like, when people get in fights, I'm like, in the end, nobody wins. I'm like this. So now law enforcement and everything else, he could press charges against the baby and his security. You don't, anything to keep you out of the courtroom, just do it. And if you get your ass whooped, then you're on video looking like Cam Coldheart, knocked out. And that's what you're famous for. So I always tell people, walk away. The older you get, the wiser you get. I always say you just got to get to 25. You hit 25 years old, shit kind of starts to make sense and your brain starts to mature a little bit. And then you start figuring shit out. So let's just finish up with arguing and fighting. Now, I had read my brother's letter 2 weeks ago now on the internet, and I posted it on my social media, Instagram and my Facebook. So then when I posted on my Facebook, my brother's the baby mama, she was literally cutting and pasting all these people. They're making comments on my page, oh, Gary, thank you. That helped. I need to hear that. Thinking about your brother, just be happy you had a brother. It was all positive comments on my Facebook page. And then the baby mama started responding to everyone's comments. And I stopped counting at about 100, where she was literally cutting and pasting the same response, saying Gary didn't do anything for Dallas. He just put him in rehab. Rehab was not 8 weeks. It was 28 days, which she could be right about that. This was 5 years ago. I don't exactly remember how long rehab was. I know it was about over a month, but it wasn't sure the exact date. So when I said 8 weeks in my brain 5 years ago, it seemed like 8 weeks. But she said all Gary did was pay for him to go to rehab and didn't do anything else, never visited Dallas in rehab. And here's a couple things right there. One, when I checked my brother into rehab, the lady that I checked him in said no contact with anybody for 2 weeks. First 2 weeks, nothing, no visitors. And he has to separate from everybody. And then the only days you can visit him was Saturday. I work on the weekends. So, but when you get into the whole, I did this and you didn't do this and I did this, you're just reopening old wounds and nobody benefits. And it's just, when I kept seeing her cutting and pasting and wouldn't stop, it was some psycho shit going on. First of all, who does that? And then people that were making the comments, they start getting in her so hard. Like, who cares if it was 2 days or 28 days? And then he read and this is my family does. It's mind-boggling to me. They're always trying to tell me how Dallas felt about me. They're always trying to say, well, Dallas felt this and Dallas didn't think. And I'm like, you have never seen me ever say how my brother felt about my other brother, or how my brother felt about my mom or my dad. I don't really know. I assume he loved everybody. That's his dad, his mom. Yeah. You know what? I will say this. Dallas for sure loved everybody. He wanted everybody to get along and everybody come together. He had a gentle soul. But when you start coming at me saying Dallas didn't like you, and it's like my brother did it, and now the baby mama did it in a very Well, I mean, since she's deleted all our messages since she did it, she put them out there and then she deleted them like 2 days later. Uh, and it was just like, would you please stop? I read the letter. The letter is Dallas's words. So that's how he felt. And there's no doubt my brother loved his daughter and his mom and dad and our brother and sister. I know that, but I would never say that he didn't. That's just crazy. It's just like when you have discussions with your brother about your mom or dad, and they might be like, "Well, mom gets on my nerves if she does this, or dad gets on my." That's just how brothers talk. So I'm sure there were conversations where Dallas had said, I wish Gary wouldn't did that. Gary pissed me off. He did that. That's normal family shit. You do that. You do shit that bother you, and you tell it to somebody else in the family, and it is what it is. Doesn't mean you hate them or you didn't love them at all. So it was just crazy talk, and it reminded me of I was right after my brother passed away, and then the custody battle happened, and shortly after that, I posted something about my brother. And this is some sick shit right here. This is how sick my side of the family is. They went on somebody, either my stepdad or my brother or my mom. I don't know which one. They went and made a comment as my brother on my Facebook page. So my brother's passed away, and somebody on that side of the family went on my Facebook, my personal page, and said, well, if you love me so much, how come you didn't do this, this, and this? They were acting like my brother who's dead. And then people said, this is some sick shit. Somebody either hacked Dallas, my brother's page, or there's somebody like acting like him talking to me on my face. It was like, that shit was so weird and disturbing. And then they took it down immediately, like afterwards, after people start coming at them, they took it down. I that was mind-boggling to me, that you're gonna go on it's either your dead son or your dead brother's Facebook page and start making comments on my page as of all the shit I didn't do, and if you love me, why didn't you do this and this and this? That is some sick shit. I was like, whoa. And so when the baby mama started making all these comments on my page last week, I was like, man, did they not realize just how crazy they sound when you do that? 100 comments. It was at least 100. I stopped counting after a while. It just kept boom, 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 boom. Yeah. I'm reading the comments. Somebody said it would freak me out if my dead brother started liking my tweets. Right. I mean, can you imagine you're on Facebook and you're making like, it was like his birthday or something. I think it was like his birthday. And I was just saying, miss you. You've been gone for a year now or something like that. And, and then I see a comment from my brother's page. I was like, and since then they've blocked me from his pages and all social media pages. But I was just like, man, that is some sick shit. I still don't know who did it, but it could only be 3 people. Only 3 people had access to his Facebook page: my mom, my stepdad, or my brother. It was one of them 3 that left that comment. That was just crazy. And I swear, once all them comments came in last week from the baby mama, it reiterated why I'm so happy to be out of that chaos. That's some crazy shit. I don't know. I'm just so happy to be out of that and being always the people you surround yourself with they're either going to uplift you or bring you down. That's why I always want to be like one of the dumbest guys in the room. I want to be around people that are smarter than me, that are more successful than me, and I just gravitate and try to be a sponge and soak up everything they're telling me and what they're doing. So yeah, this is some sick shit, man. So anyways, happy birthday to my dad. To say my opener, man, we're all rooting for your dad to get better. And Randy Moss, thank you for reminding me how country you really are. Not only did Randy take me to a place called Spoons, which is delicious, by the way, if you ever go there. If you're ever in Charlotte, look it up. When he picked me up in his big pickup, Randy had tube socks with slippers. And that's how we went to a nice high-end sushi restaurant. Flip-flops and slippers. Uh, that's what he picked me up. I said, and then he just cut through the grass, and then he kept looking for. He didn't want to park. He didn't want to pay to park anywhere, so he his truck was so big it didn't fit in the parking garage. He parked across the street at some old folks' home, and we seated ourselves so we could see in case a tow truck came. And all Randy kept saying was, "Man, I don't want my truck getting towed, man. I don't want my truck getting towed." Truck getting towed. Truck getting towed. God damn, it's got me speaking country myself. So I'm looking at the comments. Somebody did ask, did I go see my brother at a cemetery? Yeah, I went and I wiped his headstone off like I always do and cleaned it up. I always come with a rag and some water and I just wipe it down, clean up a little bit. Yeah, so it was good. Got to spend 20-30 minutes just reminiscing and seeing them again. So yeah, so who knows what's going to happen in the future. It didn't look good after that comment from the baby mama. I'll tell you that. So anyways, don't forget, I'm in Addison, Texas this weekend at the Improv. And then next weekend, June 4th and 5th, I'm in Tulsa, Oklahoma at the Looney Bin. And then June 8th, I'm in San Antonio, Texas, filming my Showtime special, which is going to be called Doing What I Do at the Empire Theater in San Antonio. Then June 13th to the 16th, I am in Washington, D.C. at the Improv. All right, y'all. We'll see y'all next week. This is Gary Owen with the Get Some Podcast.